I'm Eric.
And I'm Ash.
And this is The Hash.
With Eric and Ash.
Well, you know what that means then.
What?
We're live.
Exciting.
Episode 1. We made it happen.
I know. Well, Eric did.
It was a team effort.
That was just a test on me.
Yeah. So here we are. We started a podcast.
I know. That's fucking sick, dude. We're going to swear on this podcast, right?
Fuck yeah, we are. Yeah, here we are. So,
yeah. Should we just talk about like why we started it, kind of what we want out of it?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wanted to start a podcast, but you were the catalyst behind
I
this.
wanted it so bad. I'm like, we're setting a date. We're doing it.
Yeah, and today is that date.
It happened way sooner than I thought, honestly.
Yeah. So you had some prompts you wanted to...
Well, I'm just like...
some general idea things you want to talk about?
Just like why we wanted to start a podcast and like what it's going to be about. Like, obviously, we both have our health, fitness backgrounds, but we have very different perspectives on things. And so we want it to be health, fitness related, but we don't want to just...
limit ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, and I think for me, you know, Instagram posts and TikToks and, you know, the typical social media stuff is cool. But it's people's attention span are so small there, and you can only cram so much into a 30-second, 60-second, 90-second video. And so I think this will be a great place to just dive a little deeper and, you know, just noodle on some things.
Yeah. Also, I feel like podcasting is just such a cool medium because it's the only thing you can actually do while you're doing something else. Like going on a walk, you can listen.
Consume, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's why I'm so obsessed with podcasts, because it's like saving you time. You can literally do it whenever. And I also feel like it's such a good chance to like, because again, like social media is so hard to show your personality because it's such short, limited clips. So I love that this will just be like an extended period of time that we can
just be in your ears.
Yeah.
In your head.
Yeah.
In your life.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Us and Luna, of course.
Yeah. For those of you watching, you can see Luna here. It's funny. We were talking, like, when we were talking about doing this, testing everything out, setting up the room for this. We're like, oh, where's Luna going to be? And we joked about her being on the couch. And she jumped up here before we even pressed record. So
yeah, she's so confused. She's like, what is all this shit?
Yeah. But,
Shh.
But
every time you do that, I want to do that. Sorry.
So yeah, why don't you tell the audience, the listeners, if you will, a little bit about your health and fitness journey background?
Well, I won't go into too much detail because I feel like it would last all day, but pretty much I was a dancer growing up, you know, as we all did all the sports and high school and stuff like that. Then you go to college and you party and eat whatever you want. And of course I gained weight because you stop all the activities. But I was just super unhealthy in such a bad place throughout college. And then after college, I wanted to try out for professional dance teams. So I started taking health and fitness super seriously. Definitely did it in ways that were not healthy in terms of, you know, under eating, over exercising. But then I learned that it doesn't have to be that hard or complicated to reach your goals, and it doesn't have to be miserable. So
and there's a right way to do things.
Yeah. And I just, that made me really want to help women, just look and feel their best and just know that it doesn't have to be that complicated. But yeah, long story short, just became obsessed with it going through my own health and fitness journey, which is why I now am a full-time wellness coach. But yeah, I won't go into too much detail. I feel like it could get a little dark. So,
well, it's what more episodes are for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think, you know, my story's a little different. I don't know. I kind of...
Wait, babe.
What? I got the toothpaste?
Yeah. Sorry, I just noticed that.
Yeah, my story's a little different. I can like so distinctly remember like I don't know. I feel like your story, you were like a little bit older when you really felt
Yeah.
that pain and so much to where you wanted to make a change. I was a little bit younger. Like I can distinctly remember the period where I was like, enough is enough. And
How old were you?
I was like third grade.
That's wild. I
Yeah.
can't even. I
Third
don't
or
even
fourth grade.
Think about.
I think it was
like,
fourth grade.
My body or anything that young.
Well, I can remember. I think it was fourth grade. No, I think it was third grade. One of the two. But it was whatever. For those of you who went to Valley Vista, whenever we did the invention project, it was like you had to come up with an invention. It didn't necessarily have to work, but or it could just be like an idea. And so mine at the time, we're getting a little sidetracked, but mine at the time was like, I had this little like shoebox with these Legos in there and a chef and a phone connected in it next to it. Unfortunately, mine didn't actually work. It was just
I was
an
gonna
idea.
say, were you as analytical and like precise back then as you were
No.
now? As you are now.
So my invention was to have this phone next to this box that you could call up and have the little Lego man make you a snack. So that might give some kind of insight into where my priorities were at that point in my life. But I can distinctly remember like sitting there working on that project, putting it off to the last minute, as I still do to this day. And I like literally remember grabbing my stomach and like squeezing it and being like, why are you here? And like and that was that. And then like going forward, I could have gone like one or two ways. I could have been a heavier kid or the kid that I turned out to be, and just kind of kept up with sports, played a ton of sports, all through high school.
One of the cool kids.
According to her. And then, yeah, through high school was like pretty lean, if anything, like kind of skinny, and then went into college and just sort of filled that void with the gym and like kind of got obsessed with it. In
a healthy way?
Honestly, yeah. Like
not over obsessive or anything.
Yeah, it was more so like I feel like at first it was really for me the gym. Like I kind of filled that. There goes Luna.
Bye, Luna.
For me it was the gym. Like I kind of filled that sports void with going to the gym and just kind of got obsessed with that. Find myself on like bodybuilding.com, like trying to best way to squat or best program or whatever, and just kind of like that curiosity never stopped, and ended up getting my degree in accounting. And and then I can remember then getting my personal trainer certification, and then like a year later actually doing in-person training, and then a little bit of online training, and then COVID happened, and no, Luna, we are not doing this right now. COVID happened, and that kind of really forced me into the online coaching world, and that's where we are now.
Yeah.
So that's a long-winded answer into my background.
It's funny that you're talking about like third grade Luna, because the first distinct memory I have of like noticing my body was senior portraits, senior year, obviously. Yeah, I just remember I put on my makeup, I was getting ready to go take them, and I just like freaked out and was like bawling, crying. It was like,
before you saw the pictures?
Yeah, before I even took them.
Whoa.
Like bawling, crying, like I was like, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm this. And like being a dancer, you stare at yourself in a mirror for so many hours a day. Like 5 days a week, I would dance 3 to 5 hours. You're staring at yourself in a mirror the whole entire time. So I'm honestly surprised that it didn't happen until senior year.
Yeah.
My mom was always not threatening, but like nervous about me being in dance because she didn't want me to have body image issues. But yeah, I never really did until that one moment senior year of high school, and then college was a shit show on that side of things. But
yeah.
But even like pro dance world, body dysmorphia, unhealthy habits, they're so, it gets so crazy. You're surrounded by, we can cut that out, right? Or was this not, are we not going to cut shit out?
This is raw. For those of you, if you can't hear, Luna is absolutely whining in the background.
Luna.
For reasons we don't know.
Anyways, for those of you that don't know, I was a 49er cheerleader, but it's so crazy. You're surrounded by all these beautiful, smart, amazing, talented women, and they all have body confidence issues. And like, they're so hard on themselves. So it's so interesting just being in the dance world in high school compared to the pro dance world. It's like everybody has the same insecurities.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And that's what, like, obviously, Ashley and I talk a lot about this. Did we even introduce ourselves or who we are? Whatever. We can do that at the end.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Eric. But obviously, Ashley and I talk about this stuff a lot. We talk about our businesses, you know, what's going well, what's not, different ideas. But what I think is really interesting, because she trains women specifically only, and I train men only, and just hearing the differences. And, you know, obviously I think every single person is different, but I think it's crazy how, like, in general, more girls are like just an open book, like, to talking about that. Obviously making generalizations here, but you know, it's just different coming from my world. Cause, you know, I mean, sometimes, you know, I'll get on the phone with someone and they won't shut the fuck up. And that's great. It's great, you know, because it gives you a lot to work with, and it makes it that much more exciting. Like, you can tell that they're, you know, invested in this, and they care, and they really want to make a change, or they're really struggling. But sometimes, you know, talking to guys, it's like, you know, what do you want to do? It's like, I want to get buff. Why do you want to get buff? I want to get buff, you know, and it's just like, it's like pulling teeth. So
yeah, with girls, this is why I love coaching women, because we just get so deep down and nitty gritty. And sometimes people think stuff that's blocking them and stopping them from reaching their goals is something completely different than it actually is. So
usually is.
I just love getting into people's minds and figuring out like all the roadblocks. So, but yeah, we obviously are both online fitness coaches, but very just different perspective on things.
Yeah, which is, you know, again, it's funny. We talk about this stuff a lot, you know.
Like, all the time. We were literally driving to Costco today, being like, wow, this would be a great podcast.
Well, we have some of the best conversations in the car, and I think we both want to do this. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. I think it's good to get out there, but I think people could really benefit from some of these conversations that we have as well. So just another reason why we kind of wanted to do this thing.
Yeah, and I love the male-female perspective, just because, we're just so different. Whatever, generalizing and all. Like, we're different.
Yeah.
We're different. And I think it's okay to have different opinions. Even when we first started dating, though, I feel like I was like, Eric's been doing this longer than me. He knows everything. I don't know anything. And so I was like, oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. I would always go with what he said. And I'm like, wait a second. As we started dating longer.
Me some lip.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, no, that's not how I feel. I don't think that's right. He's a lot more sciencey than me. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I believe in the science. I'm not gonna say I don't. I'm just a lot more holistic in terms of how I think.
Yeah. And neither one's, you know, better or worse. I think it's just cool to hear these different perspectives. And on this podcast, you're going to be able to hear both those perspectives. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I guess, so we talk about like our stories and stuff like that. I mean, how we met on a personal note. Okay, I've known Eric. I don't know. I feel like I just knew who you were in high school. I used to be quiet, like mute. Not even just quiet, mute. I had zero friends. I had zero personality. And Eric was the cool, popular kid that everybody knew. He doesn't seem to think that that's the way it was. But I went to a different high school and I knew who he was. So let's just put it that way.
I knew who you were. I went to a different high school.
But okay, we were like the varsity football jock, quarterback.
For a period of time.
Okay. Well, still. And then, he also, we like obviously didn't really hang out. I don't even think we ever really
talked.
Had
ever.
it. Yeah.
No.
And then went to college, whatever, came back. He worked at the gym that I worked out at. He was a personal trainer there. But again, I think I said hi like one time.
Yeah. And
but I didn't
never
really know
talked
him.
or anything. And then one day, we just slid into each other's DMs 10 minutes apart. So,
okay, he didn't follow me before. So he, whatever, probably unfollowed me at some point. But whatever. He randomly followed me one day. And I'm like, that's weird. I've followed you a long time. I know who you were. But whatever. And then the day he followed me, I was like, huh, weird. And then I messaged you.
Yeah, so we both posted something on our Instagram story. You posted some oatmeal, and I posted. It looked really good. It looked really good. It looked delicious. And I posted an Alani Nu energy drink, which I just was looking through my pictures the other day, and I saw that. And for the record, you responded to my picture first.
Yeah, so I slid in his DMs first. Whatever.
But I didn't see it. And 10 minutes later, I responded to her, which I didn't really realize until like a day or two later when I scrolled back to the pages of chats.
And when I tell you he was, well, I guess we were both, but he was sending me novels. Like, I've never had that in-depth of a conversation in my whole entire life.
Yeah, but yeah, we started chatting in the DMs, and then you were going on a snowboarding trip.
Yeah.
So this was like what? Like I think it was like January 5th or something. And then
Yeah, like the 10th I was leaving. So we were just chatting for a couple days, and then we finally I'm not even going to say that. And then I was going on this trip, and we finally were like, oh, let's hang out, you know? Then I went on the trip. I got back. We were planning on, oh no. Okay. Rewind. Start over. We were planning on hanging out. We were maybe going to do it right before I left for the trip, but I was like, sorry, I don't have time. Like, I'm trying to get my shit together. And then we were going to hang out when I got home. And I got home when I got COVID.
Well, you got home, we were going to hang out. And you're like, oh, like, I'm not feeling like good, but like, maybe we could hang out. And I'm like, okay, cool. And at this point, we've been talking for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just
never hung out.
And then you tested positive for COVID, so we didn't hang out.
We delayed it
and then I think I went to Tahoe. And then, so we finally hung out. Went for drinks.
Like 3 weeks later.
Yeah. It was amazing. Best night of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Babe!
And then
nice.
And then we hung out for the second time when you just moved in here.
Yeah.
And had like nothing set up. You didn't even have countertops.
Yeah.
Went for a walk and then ate burritos.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. Now we live together and have a podcast.
Yeah. Seriously. Damn.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That's our story. That's kind of how we got started on health and fitness, a little bit of our background, and how she got stuck with me.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Me neither. Does that wrap it up for episode 1?
Yeah. How long was that?
20 minutes.
Oh.
Short and sweet, baby, right to the point.
Love it. We'll
So,
let you guys know when we think of a name.
Yeah. And if you have any ideas, well, actually,
I guess we'll have one before it
we
gets out.
post.
I hope so.
But if you, by the time this comes out and we have a name, and if you hate it, let us know. And send us your suggestions that we probably won't listen to.
Yeah. Hey, I'll listen.
We'll listen, but
We probably won't change it.
it'll be done. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Deuces.
Peace.
That's a wrap.